Okay, we will begin today's proceedings with an invocation by Director Ardy who represents the city of Glendale.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, directors, members of the public, and dedicated staff of the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California. April is a special month for Americans who are of Armenian descent and heritage. In recent years, the County of Los Angeles has declared April Armenian Heritage Month. This month has been selected for this distinction because although its purpose is to celebrate the rich heritage and history of the Armenian people, it is also the month in which Armenians commemorate the anniversary of the tragic Armenian genocide of 1915, during which over 1 million Armenians were killed in a state-sponsored genocide by the Ottoman Turkish authorities. Thousands of others were driven out of their ancestral and indigenous lands and scattered to all corners of the world, from Europe to the Middle East to Asia and South America, and of course here to the United States, and eventually to the fertile and promising valleys and bustling cities and communities of our Golden State. There have been many famous Armenian Americans who have called California home. Great playwright and author William Saroyan, all the way to the office of the governor of this great state, where George Deukmejian served our state for 2 terms. And people in entertainment like Cher, in sports like Andre Agassi, and many others. I ask us to take a moment to remember that we are a nation and state comprised mostly of immigrants, people who have come to this nation to seek a better future for ourselves and our loved ones. But as our shared presence unites us under one flag, one constitution, and the blessings of freedom and liberty as Americans, we must celebrate our diversity as well and remember that we come from many parts, and the sum of these parts is what makes our nation great. The current nation state of the Republic of Armenia is a mere fraction of what Armenia once was, and remains landlocked and surrounded by hostile regimes who have committed genocide against its people and continue to attack it and commit genocides today. Recently, during the 2020 war in Artsakh, over 140,000 Armenians were displaced and became refugees because of the attacks and atrocities committed by its neighboring Republic of Azerbaijan. But the Armenian nation has survived, and its existence is tied in a unique way to the resource that this organization, our organization here, is committed to providing to our members. Yes, water is central to the Armenian story. Now, how is water central to the Armenian identity? Well, Armenia is one of the oldest nations in the world. It has a history of over 4,000 years, and it was written about by Roman, Persian, and Assyrian historians. It is also part of biblical tradition, because according to the book of Genesis, God commanded Noah to build an ark, and Noah did. Many of us have grown up with the story of animals being led onto the ark 2 by 2. Now, as the earth was flooded, far worse than any of the storms we saw here in California recently, and Noah's ark wandered through the storm, eventually, as the waters receded, the ark came to rest atop the mountain of Ararat, which is located in the Armenian highlands. Noah and his family descended from the ark to the Armenian plateau, where Noah planted grapevines, eventually made wine, and begun life anew with his family. I should note that the oldest wineries discovered were in a cave in Armenia, not far from Mount Arad. Armenians consider themselves descendants of Noah, and Armenia was the first nation to adopt Christianity as its official faith in 301 AD, decades before the Emperor of Rome declared the same for the Roman Empire. So as an ancient people whose feet were washed in the receding waters of the Great Flood, who have practiced their faith and kept it in the face of persecution, great empires, and wars, who have endured genocide and survived the struggle to survive, we can learn a lot from this resilient nation. They have built churches in the diaspora, schools, and have contributed to the fabric of whatever nation that has welcomed them. And wherever any 2 Armenians meet in the world, far away from the resting place of Noah's Ark, they will always try to rebuild some part of their homeland. So I want to thank you all for allowing me to share a bit of my heritage and the many residents who call Glendale home. I want to acknowledge the members of the MWD staff who are of Armenian descent, who have welcomed me to this organization with open arms, and will be having their special heritage celebration here in this building on April 17th. And I welcome my colleagues on this board to celebrate the Armenian American experience as an allegory of our collective experience of struggle and perseverance in this month of April and beyond. Thank you very much.
Director Kasakian, thank you very much.